I want to talk about justice for Leiby Kletzky. Leiby. Your story is very sad. We all know that we all live in New York, and I read about this case, and I said to myself, another child dead in the street. How much more are we going to take from another child being murdered in the street? It's sad because Leiby Kletzky, for those who don't know what happened to him, he was this 8-year-old Hasidic Jewish kid who basically came out of camp, got in the car with a complete stranger, and I'm gonna get to that part about the whole kidnapping scenario. And then I believe the butcher's name was ARON Levy. He brought him back. He first took his ass to a wedding. Don't know what that's all about. Brought him back to his apartment. Then basically had a talk with him, tied him up. Basically, he's conversating with him. He was going to let him go until the police told the world, until the media and the news outlets came to the forefront talking about where Leiby is, and he panicked and basically smothered the child, gave him a drug cocktail. First he gave him a tuna fish sandwich, then after he gave him a tuna fish sandwich, gave him a strong prescription of cocktails for him to swallow before smothering him, and then after he smothered him, he chopped his ass up. Now, this is the thing that I'm pissed off about. I'm not pissed off at Leiby because Leiby didn't deserve to die. I am very pissed off at the family. Leiby, Leiby, I love you. What happened to you was a tragedy and you should have been killed. But I'm going to be honest with you, your parents were fucked up. And I'm telling you why your parents are fucked up. And part me on this one, y'all, because this is real talk. So I'm going to be as real as possible on this one here. Your parents basically taught you racism, Leiby. When we talk about justice for Leiby, we all got to take responsibility as parents for what we teach our children. What's going on here is very quite simple. Leiby basically went to school, or went to camp, with this theory. This is what he had in his head. As long as you got in the car with an Hasidic Jew or looked like one of us, then you can trust anybody within our own community. Now, what kind of dumbass theory is that? You basically are telling this kid that it's okay to get into a car with your own kind, that you basically are teaching him racism. You basically told this kid as long as he's not black, he's not Jewish, he's not Spanish, not Jewish, not Italian, not Irish, not any other kind except our own kind. As long as he's our own kind, we are perfectly fine. And something, it's really fucked up because had they not taught this child this, he would not be dead now. Basically, if you really want to know what it was like for Leiby, he basically walked up to a car. This man, ARON Levy, looked at him. He said, L'chaim. They both had yarmulkes on. They both looked like the same type of kind of people. And Leiby got in the car thinking that he was okay in the community. You don't get in no car and say, hey, look, you know what? It's okay for Leiby to get in the car with somebody you don't know. That's like saying if you walk down the street and you told your child, hey, look, you know what? As long as your child is black, you can get in the car with any black person, not knowing who the hell you're getting in the car with. If your child is white and you saw another white person, it's okay because as long as he's white, then it doesn't matter because they're safe. That is the fucked up thing. This has nothing to do with Jews. This has nothing to do, because I noticed in the news that a lot of people in that community where Leiby was killed basically say, you know what, well, this is just another attack on the Jews. No, it's not. This is an ignorant behavior being taught to a child, and he enforced that what he learned out into the real world and basically got himself killed. Leiby would not be dead if he was told, hey, look, you know what? If you see somebody trying to get you in the car and we don't know him, he's a stranger. If you see somebody walking down the street and they tell you, I can get you home, he's a stranger. You don't go up to anybody that you don't know. My motto has always been trust no one. Trust no one is the theory of the day. Why are you walking home with somebody that you don't know? Why are you getting in the car and then going to a wedding to someone you don't know? You know, this is the thing that pisses me off about this. And the parents are on TV and they're crying and they don't want to hear the details. They should hear the details about what happened to Leiby, because this was your fault. You got to start taking the blame, parents. I mean, to the Kukunskis, I'm not saying that Leiby deserved to die, but you did have a part in this as to why he's dead. You basically told this child that, you know something, stick to your own kind, because anybody else we don't trust and we don't want to mingle with. If that's what's really going on, then you caused the death of your child being killed. And what's really fucked up about this whole thing is that I tell my kids every day, do not trust nobody, do not say hi to nobody, you don't trust nobody. That is the theory of the day. That is the lesson of the day. You know, I'm sorry that I have to be harsh on Leiby's family, but it's true. Yes, you know something, what will happen to Aaron Levy, only God and our justice system will take care of him. He can go on TV, he can say I'm crazy, he can say I don't care and all that bullshit, but at the end of the day, God will handle him. And you know something, if God don't handle him, maybe a prisoner will handle him. Or maybe he'll kill his own self and finally realize that he fucked his own life up. But you know something, the parents got to start taking the guilt too. All of you as parents have got to start teaching your children right. That number one, this is not about your own community and that you stick with your own kind. This is about letting your kids know that even in your own community, we have psychopaths, we have racists, we have pedophiles, we have murderers, we have people who are capable of sick bullshit. And until you start teaching your children that, you are never going to be able to live in New York City or live in any other place, because you basically are going to walk around with the idea that it's okay for your children to think that, you know something, stick with your own kind and don't worry about what the consequences are. Cut it out, B. For the most part, cut it out. You know, I am so sorry for what happened to you, Leiby, but your parents were fucked up. And you know something? You didn't deserve to die. You had a young life. And you know something? Another child, gone from our earth. You know, the children are our future. And if we don't educate our children right, they're going to think that, you know what, well, it's okay. I'll get in the car with somebody else. That's just like one of my kids the other day basically said, you know what? You know, she says hi to everybody, and she doesn't understand that, you know what, while you saying hi to everybody, you don't know who you're saying hi to. I'm sorry, but you know what, I don't trust nobody when it comes to my own child. When it comes to my child, I trust nobody. And that's the way you have to live. You have to live every day by saying, you know what, I love my child, and I'm going to protect my child from the evils of this world. I'm not going to be one of those parents that are on TV talking about, hey, where's my child? And I'm crying and I'm moaning. You know, I see Natalie Holloway's mother go through that, and she looks like she's like 90 years old, and she's a beautiful woman. But the stress of trying to find out what happened to your child, I don't want to go through that. I mean, I will protect my child, and if I ever found out who hurt my child, the person who did it, they're going to be dead on this earth. I will fuck them up. I will kill anybody that ever tries to do that to my child. Even if Aaron Levy's in jail, I will make sure that I go to jail with him so I can kill him myself. You know, we all got to start facing facts that our children are a precious commodity. They are the bread of our lives, and we got to make sure we protect our children. We got to start teaching them right. All this bullshit about sticking to your own and trust nobody else, that's bullshit. You know, the way you got to raise your kid is that you got to raise your kid to let them know that, you know something, when you step out that door, use your better judgment and know that do not get in the car with a stranger, even though that is your own kind. You don't know him and they don't know you. So, you know something, The only thing that I will make my final comment on is tell your kids every day, not only that you love them, that you trust no one. Trust no one in this world, because in this world here, this is a dangerous society. And if we don't start educating our children right, they're going to be just like Leiby or worse. You know, as that famous quote that I once heard that someone told me about, which is, the world is a fine place and worth fighting for. I believe in the second part. You know, that was from the movie Seven. So, you know something, use your mind, it's your best weapon. And remember, when you're going to sleep, just tell yourself this: don't educate your children in racism and stop talking about sticking on your own. Educate your children right. Let them know that, you know something, use your better judgment. Make sure you don't get in the car with nobody. Make sure that you're around people. Make sure you have your cell phones. Make sure you know how to call for help, how to ask for help, but yet at the same time be careful who you're asking for help with, because not everybody in New York or wherever you're at is dangerous. But always keep your guard up, because you never know who you fucking with. So take care of yourself, love your kids, love yourself, and remember, use your mind. It's your greatest weapon on the planet Earth. One love, Leiby, we love you.